What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today I'm going to showcase a Shadow Steelix team in the Open Great League. The main reason I wanted to put a highlight on this Pokemon is because for some reason this pick has not been available in Pokemon Go for quite some time now. It's been several Team Rocket events since the last time this Pokemon was available to catch, which means if you don't currently have one, you just simply can't use it. It's kind of sad because it's a very strong Pokemon, right? Thunderfang as a fast move is very unique for a Steel type to have, and having access to Psychic Fangs as a way to debuff your opponents and Earthquake as a very powerful nuke move gives this Pokemon so much play. Really quickly though, before we get into the battles, I do want to say if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I upload videos basically every single day, and I'd appreciate it very much. But yeah, let's get into the battles and see what this team can do. We got an opponent. It's going to be a Araquanid on the lead into Ninetales. Okay, this is actually kind of an interesting lead because my Bug Bites are resisted, although I resist their Powder Snow damage. And Bug Bite, even though it is resisted, you can see it is doing quite a bit to them here still as well. Alright, and they actually swap out into a Jellicent, which is very fine for my Dusknoir to see. Astonish damage is going to rip them apart in the 2-shield. And Hex damage doesn't do quite as much, but it does generate energy a little bit quicker. We can go for a CMP right now. And if they don't shield this up, I get a knockout. If they do shield this up, then I can get a farm down against them. They do shield that. Honestly, though, I don't really need switch advantage, not as much as they do. I think I survive a Surf. So I can now go for a Shadow Punch here and maintain switch without really having to go down too many resources. And we'll see what the third Pokemon's going to be at this point. Oh my goodness, they shield that. Really? So they should be 3 away from their next move. I should get a Thunderfang down. I 1-turn lag, but I should still... Yeah, I do get the knockout. Alright. So they can go for 2 Weather Balls against us. I'll shield one of them, but an Earthquake should knock him out here at some point. And honestly, at some point, if I wanted to, I might be able to just swap back into a Araquanid, save this energy, if I really wanted to, but I don't know if Water Pulse would be enough to knock out, so I'm just going to go for the Earthquake instead. I don't know what the final Pokemon's going to be, but I have a lot of energy on my Araquanid, and I have a decent amount of HP here still, too. Okay, honestly, I don't think they can knock out my Steelix before I get to an Earthquake, or at least a Psychic Fangs. And Charge Bug kind of struggles, unfortunately, into Araquanid for them, so we're able to pick up the win. Let's go. Alright, next opponent here. Araquanid into Shadow Annihilape. Alright, you know, not the best lead necessarily, but it's honestly not that bad for Araquanid, because while Bug Bite is resisted, Annihilape is pretty squishy, right? It's not going to be able to do a lot of damage here initially, and I also resist the counters here. Alright. This is going to be an interesting matchup, because obviously Licky Licky here might be on Earthquake, but I would be surprised to see that. It's likely just going to double Shadow Ball me, and I don't inherently need switch advantage against this team so far. Yeah, big Shadow Ball, but we do survive that. 8, so we got another one. They're 3 away from a Body Slam here. I think I'm going to go for an Earthquake just to guarantee either a shield or a knockout against them. We'll see if they respect it. I think there's a good chance they let this go, however, so we'll see. Big Earthquake. Our opponent's going to go for a shield, actually. Wow, was not honestly expecting that. 6. I get another move off here, too. Psychic Fangs obviously won't do too much damage to them, but it will chip them down maybe into a range where a Bubble Beam could be enough to knock them out, or maybe even just Bug Bites. They likely Body Slam us here. They're at back-to-back right now. Big Body Slam. We do get knocked out here. Yeah, these Bug Bites are kind of shredding, although they are at a Shadow Ball right now, so keep that in mind. But I have a lot of energy here. There's an Annihilape that might find my Dusknoir as well, which is not bad for us, but they do have a lot of energy, which could be a little bit scary, saying Rage Fist might knock us out. Alright. Probably shouldn't have thrown this move, but honestly, maybe it's not that bad of a play, because this is still going to do some good chip damage here, to maybe put them into Astonish downrange. 5. I have to shield this, obviously, because it would knock us out. But the big question is going to be, what do I do for my second shield here? That wasn't the best timing of my life, but it's fine. We don't need to time perfectly all the time. We'll go for the Shadow Punch. Our opponent likely will shield this. Ah, man. Okay. So the tricky part is the Annihilape does have a lot of energy, right? So I can't really shield this up. They probably shouldn't be staying in, though. Alright. I have to shield this. It's a Rage Fist, which won't knock us out. Well, it would come close to knocking us out from this range, but I can't no-shield it anyway, because I'd get just farmed down. I think I need a Bubble Beam plus a Water Pulse to knock out here, but I'll go for the Water Pulse first, just in case it's enough somehow to knock him out. But my Bug Bite Fast Move pressure here is not going to do him all that much. Nice, we do reach the Bug Bite, or the Bubble Beam, that is, which should knock him out here, and then we should be able to Bug Bite down the rest of that Empoleon. Yeah, down goes Annihilape. Down goes Empoleon. A little bit of a closer endgame than it had to be there. I was just making it kind of spicy for content, but we'll take the win. Alright, next battle here. We'll see Araquanid into Pangoro. Okay. I actually like this lead quite a bit. While fighting does resist bug, Dark is actually weak to it, so it's a lot of neutral bug bite damage here. And I resist the Karate Chops too, right? So, unless they have Rock Slide, they don't do a lot of charge attack pressure into us. Although they are pretty spammy, so if they get a boost and start ramping up early, that could be scary as well, but getting this out of the way for my Steelix... Oh, I guess Close Combat does do more raw damage if they're planning on swapping. Alright. I'm gonna go for a Bubble Beam here, I think. Just because at this point, Bubble Beam should make it so they do quite a bit less damage to us. And then my Steelix should be able to come in, survive a Sparkling Aria here. And if I build up enough energy, then that Pangoro is not even that big of a concern for us. Do I survive 2 Sparkling Arias here, though? That's going to be the first question. I do, after the debuff. Nice. Although it will be a little bit closer than I would like. Maybe I'll still shield the next move here from them. Just to make sure my Steelix can farm down. Oh, they actually just swap into Pangoro here? Okay. And I get off Psychic Fangs as well. So the thing is about this is my Araquanid can come back in here in a second and absorb a lot of the damage they're going to throw into us. But the big question is going to be, how useful is it going to be in the back? Is Araquanid going to be a Pokemon that I want to invest even further into? And they do Night Slash knock us out here. Do they get a second one off? They do. But I should once again survive this. And I can get the farm down. I have a lot of energy here. So I should, in theory, be able to keep it on my Araquanid, potentially, so I can debuff the final Pokemon, which might be like, I don't know, a Talonflame wouldn't be super surprising to see. Okay, but it's actually going to be a Clodsire here. Could have gone for the other move here, the Bubble Beam, if I wanted to, but I think this just puts them into, like, 2 Shield Astonish downrange, which I think is not a bad idea. And I would imagine an Earthquake is going to do more than a Sparkling Aria or an Ice Beam would, so I'm going to just double shield the Clodsire, I think. Yeah, big Sludge Bomb bait, I guess. You can do that if you want to. I don't know how much that's going to help them, though. Because I don't think they're going to get to 3 attacks, unless... Maybe they could get to, like, 3 Sludge Bombs. But even then, I don't know if they can. We'll see. Shadow Punch likely going to get that second shield off of them right now. And I do still have some HP left over on my Araquanid. Alright, we'll shield this up. And at this point, we'll hope for the best. Big Sludge Bomb bait again, because they are annoying. But I think I survived this. I don't think a Sparkling knocks us out here. Ice Beam does do more raw damage, but I can just swap. Go for the Bug Bite down here. And I have a Shadow Punch loaded. I can Bug Bite him down, too, so... Yeah, even with the baits there, I don't know if they had much of a chance. Alright, next game. We're going to see a Araquanid into Shadow Sealeo. Okay. I would imagine this is pretty good, although my charge attack pressure here is almost non-existent, but they don't have a lot of damage into us themselves. And we see a Togekiss on the safe swap. So we know that Steelix here, while it is a good counter to flying types, it's going to kind of suffer to these Aura Spheres. But I'm just going to go for that one shield farm down play. I won't throw any energy here. I'll have 100 energy coming out of this matchup. And hopefully that's going to be good for us. That seems like the most consistent way to deal with this and have at least some sort of advantage for the backline. They can't really bring in the Sealeo here, right? Because if they do, they take an Earthquake and a Psychic Fangs and like all that good stuff, as well as Thunderfang damage. Alright, Sealeo does actually come in here. Well, I could go for a Psychic Fangs first. I feel like going for the raw damage of an Earthquake is just going to be more efficient, just to guarantee that this thing is low. Wow, they shield that. I guess I should have baited. I mean, that's fine. I'm kind of happy to get his shield back, I guess. Because I still get a Psychic Fangs through, too, which should put them around half HP. And while they do have, like, 6 Powder Snows of energy, Body Slams don't do much to a Araquanid. And I've put them into a much more manageable range at this point. Alright, I'm going to Bubble Beam. And that might be a strange play. But at this point, I just want to lower the damage they can do and make it so my Dusknoir here should be able to get a lot of damage against them. 7. I get 2 more Astonishes, then I can go for a Shadow Punch here on CMP. And then they should be in range where I can just farm them down with my Araquanid. Yeah, I mean, they kind of have to go for the shield here. If they don't, then I just farm them down on that Sealeo. And if they do, then I probably farm down the Corsola. And then I can Water Pulse against that Sealeo. Maybe I don't even get knocked out here after the debuff. Okay, that was Cope. I do get knocked out. Alright, they're at 7 right now, so nearly at back-to-back body slams, 2 away from the next. It is Shadow Sealeo, so the damage here might actually add up a little bit against us, but I should be able to survive long enough. Alright, and they throw the next move here. They're at 1. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to Bubble Beam because I think I can go for a Bug Bite down after this, and then I'll have enough energy to Bubble Beam that Corsola as well a little bit earlier. They get DRE. They get DRE? They get DRE. Of course they get DRE, man. Why wouldn't they? Ah! Well, that's a way to lose it, I guess. Freaking losing the game on DRE. I guess I should have just Water Pulsed. I could have Bug Bitten down the Corsola. That's on me. Alright, next game. Araquanid into Florges. Okay, well, a lot of Fairy types, I guess, so far. But we know Bug Bite still does do 2 damage per turn. So it's really not that bad for Araquanid, all things considered here. But it depends on what they go for. If they're on, like, Trailblaze Moonblast, that's not great. But if they're on Chilling Water Trailblaze, then they don't have any high damaging moves to hit us with. And yeah, they do just Trailblaze immediately. I'm going to go for the Water Pulse here. I think there's a good chance they end up letting this go. But getting a shield here is not bad for us either. Nice, okay. I should survive this move here. I am a little bit concerned, though, that they will get to another attack against us before I can do too much, so I'm going to swap into my Dusknoir, which does have a lot more fast move pressure. And we bait out a Shadow Malamar, which, I mean, while this isn't necessarily a bad matchup for my Steelix, it's also, like, a little bit awkward, saying I don't have a great charge attack into them, so baiting this out is not bad. We get his shield, okay. And, I mean, I could shield this up. Do I want to? We might as well, I guess. Let's either get the second shield or a knockout here if we can. Because these Astonishes are kind of ripping them apart right now. Alright, Shadow Punch should get the final shield. Or maybe they do let it go. Okay, I guess Malamar goes down. So we have a lot of Dusknoir still left to work with. And it's a Galarian Corsola in the backline. So honestly, happy to get these Astonishes against them. And I don't have Crunch here, which does make my life a little bit harder, but I think that we're still in a very playable position. But they can clear their debuff if they want to. We're at 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, But I also have my Araquanid still alive as well, that I think can Bug Bite through a lot of what's left. We get a shield, that's amazing. One. So they're at 1 past the Nightshade right now. I think I survived this, actually. 2. So they're actually 3 more away from their next attack here with Corsola. I should be able to Bug Bite this down with my Araquanid. And then Bubble Beam the other guy. Or, you know, if I need to do it in the reverse order, I can do that as well. Or I Bug Bite this down, and then I can go for a move against the Corsola. Let's go. That's why you don't simply resist Bug Bite, right? It's kind of crazy. But against both Corsola and Florges, you still do 2 damage with the Bug Bites a lot of the time, so it's honestly not that bad for us. We got our next game, and we're going to see a Araquanid into Pangoro. Pretty good lead matchup. My backline doesn't want to see this. I do a lot of neutral damage here with my Bug Bites as well. They stay in for a second, but then they come in. Pumpkaboo, oh my goodness. I think we all know the final Pokemon right now, and I am a little bit scared, honestly. Maybe I shouldn't have come in with my Dusknoir. Foul play. So that's going to take another 4 to reach the next. I should be able to Astonish this down, but I'll be kind of low. But I should get both shields back against that Pangoro, potentially. I'm 1 away from my next move here. If there is a Gourgeist in the backline, which I don't know why there wouldn't be at this point, I guess, this could be scary. Yeah, we get both shields, though. Or maybe a one-shot, depending on what they really want to do. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, why you... What? Okay. They're just running Carbink. I thought they were a person of culture, because they had a Pumpkaboo. But they just have a Carbink. I should have read that. Honestly, that's on me. It's just a Carbink in the back, okay. Well, it seems like this opposing trainer might not be liking what's happening right now. They have potentially left the game. Okay, I guess I get to tap them down now. Weird. That is not what I was expecting, but I guess we'll take it. Alright, next game. Araquanid against a Shadow Murkrow. Alright, a little bit of a core breaker, honestly, but I bet Araquanid is not unplayable here. Shadow Murkrow's biggest drawback, as you're seeing right now, is its lack of bulk. And my fast move pressure, despite being neutral, is doing more than their resisted fast move pressure, or than their super effective fast move pressure, that is. Which is kind of insane. We'll go here for a Bubble Beam, trying to get a shield, maybe a knockout. I should be able to Bug Bite this down. Yeah, nice. So now we just win the 1 shield, or the, I guess 1-0 shield matchup, but that's pretty nice to see. Huh. Should I be worried about a second Mud Slapper in the backline? I'm kind of worried about a second Mud Slapper right now. I want to get a guaranteed shield here, so I'm not going to bait. Okay, there's that shield. If there's just double Mud Slap in the back, I could be in trouble. Well, it is double Mud Slap in the back. We'll see what we can do here. Because they have a move left over on that Marowak, which is a little bit scary. You get his shield with Dynamic Punch, I guess. I'll shield this up because I kind of have to. Alright. I guess maybe I shouldn't have gone for the Dynamic Punch first, but I figured that would be the better play, just in case they no-shield. I'd probably get some energy out of him here, right? No. Uh-oh. I think they just get to 2 Bone Clubs, actually. Oh, man, I should have gone straight Shadow Punch into the Gastro. I could have got 2 moves here. But now I just get two-shot, unfortunately. Got another move. Oh, man. No! That was actually almost a playable game. Bit of a core breaker lead. Araquanid could have swept. My Steelix was just so useless. Ah, man. Next opponent here. It's going to be Araquanid into Florges. Okay, we've seen a lot of fairy types, just in general today. But it's not even that bad for Araquanid. I've said it before, but Bug Bite damage is able to add up quite a bit here. We haven't seen someone Moonblast me yet. I've seen a couple Moonblast chilling water variants in the past, but looks like today, just a lot of Trailblazers, I guess. And Water Pulse here should be able to do a decent chunk of damage. We'll see, though, if they want to shield this. It doesn't knock them out, so they probably let it go. This time they shield, though. That's fine. I survived this move pretty comfortably. And now I should be able to set up my backline, potentially, for some success with the shield advantage. Alright. So they're at another Trailblaze now. I'm just going to let this go, though. They could Chilling Water as well if they think I might shield this. But it's just triple Trailblaze. I'm going to come in Shadow Steelix. I'm going to shield once and farm down. That way I'll have a lot of energy in the backline against whatever they might bring in. Dusknoir should be hopefully in a decent spot too. But I don't know what they have in the back, obviously. So it could be a lot of different things. We get the full Thunderfang down. Alright. Not a great Pokemon to see. But I do have super effective Psychic Fangs here. So I might get his shield after this. They're at 4. Okay, there's a shield. 5. Oh, that's some damage. That is some damage. I've never seen damage like that into a Shadow Annihilape. I love seeing that. Okay, now we have a lot of energy here. And we see their final Pokemon is a Charjabug. One of the best things Felix could see in the backline. Okay. Okay. Alright, next game. Araquanid into Empoleon. Alright. So, fun fact about this matchup. It's not good. I'm going to swap out here into my Dusknoir and hope that they don't have a hard counter. And it looks like they are staying in, which is good for us to see. Oh, let's go. I went for like a Bug Bite before swapping out to make the timing a little bit awkward for them, and we got a full Astonish sneak through, which is kind of huge in this matchup. Because now, I can go for a Shadow Punch here. I'll shield the next one and go for another Shadow Punch, but this thing's going to be so low on HP. Alright, they should be at 1 right now. I don't know if 3 Astonishes knock out. If they do, I could try for a farm down here. But they just swap. They don't want any part of that. I can get to 2 Shadow Punches here, though. And that's going to be kind of hard for them to deal with, actually. Because 2 Shadow Punches will put them fairly low. But they could no-shield and survive if they want to. I don't know what their third Pokemon's going to be at this point, though. That's going to be the next big question. They do shield that, makes sense. I'm just going to stay in, though, and force them to throw energy against us. Alright. I should be able to Thunderfang this down. And I'll take a Flamethrower in the process, which will hurt, but I'll have enough energy that maybe I can Earthquake the final Pokemon. I'll probably get like 7 or 8 Thunderfangs out of this. Alright. Empoleon is still around. They likely can get to a Drill Peck against a Araquanid, but I doubt they get to a Hydro Cannon against my, or Steelix there. They bring in Gourgeist immediately, and this is going to be kind of a close matchup here, saying I don't have Bug Buzz, but I don't inherently need to win this. I just need the Gourgeist not to come out of this with a lot of HP. So, I'm going to try our best here to just go for a Water Pulse, chip him down into range that my Steelix can deal with it. And actually, potentially here, I can just Psychic Fangs this immediately. Because I don't need energy, I don't think. I don't need energy at all for the Altaria or the Empoleon. I just need to be able to fast move them down. So let's just knock this out without taking an Incinerate. And as long as I can Thunderfang through the Altaria and the Empoleon, I should be able to win this. They bring in Empoleon here. Thunderfang is super effective. They go down to 4 Thunderfangs. And now Altaria is pretty dry after throwing the Flamethrower. So we can even, yeah, just like, let's go for the Psychic Fangs if we need to. But they're out of here. Okay, okay. Steelix Sweep. Amazing stuff. All right, next battle here. We'll see a Araquanid up against a Gourgeist. Okay, so a weird matchup for sure, but definitely very playable for a Araquanid, saying my Bug Bite damage is very neutral here. And they're doing a lot of non-stab, fast move pressure into us. But Shadow Ball is an unfortunately spammy move, right? I'm going to bait that maybe I have a Bug Buzz here. Maybe they shield, right? I think there's always a good chance that they might respect it. Water Pulse will do a lot if they end up letting it go. But it won't knock them out. They do let it go. Oh no, a Charjabug. I can't believe they'd have a Charjabug. They're a little bit soft to a fire type themselves. I can say that for sure. They might have a water type in the back. Yeah, X-Scissor is going to just bounce right off of us here. And since I do have Earthquake, I have a way to deal with this a little bit quicker than just spamming out Psychic Fangs. But what we do have to keep in mind is there is still some energy left over on that Gourgeist. Earthquake, though, should get a knockout. I'd be kind of surprised to see a shield come through right now, but maybe they want to save the energy and swap out. No, they do let that go down. All right. I'll shield this up. I think Steelix could still have a lot of play this game. They Seed Bomb, so I'm just going to swap in, go for the Astonish down here. Doesn't even get the Incinerate through him. I don't know what the final Pokemon was there, but I had a lot of energy on my Steelix and Araquanid. I had an energy lead on Dusknoir. And it would have had to be like a really bad thing for me not to have had a chance to win. We got our next opponent. It's going to be Araquanid into Altaria, and that is not a lead matchup that I would consider all that positive for us here. But maybe I can swap into my Dusknoir and not get hard countered. No. You know, you can't win them all. 5. It's probably going to be a Psychic Fangs bait or something crazy, but I'm going to shield this up anyway. It is Aura Wheel, so that's not, bad to see. I can pressure a lot of shields down still with my Dusknoir here. Yeah, in fact, I can actually just outpace them straight up to the first, or the second Shadow Punch, that is. Or, if they don't bait us here, I could actually potentially flip Switch Advantage. I know I'm catching an Aura Wheel, a dark boosted Aura Wheel. I don't know. I just feel like this is the play. Saving Dusknoir does not feel like a bad idea. That does hurt quite a bit, though. We'll see what they do. They bank energy. They come in Shadow Caesar. I can't quite reach a move that's going to do any real damage against them. But I can go for a Psychic Fangs, I guess, to get some sort of chip damage here. 7. Alright. It's going to be down to Dusknoir to try to win this game now. They'll get 2 Night Slashes into us. Maybe they, for some reason, go for Trailblaze, though. They shouldn't do that, I don't think. I should be able to farm them all the way down before a Night Slash now. Yeah, okay, it's a strange play by them. But the problem is, Altaria is so bad to see. And they can come in more Peko now and Psychic Fangs. Although they do let me get the Shadow Punch through first, which is not bad necessarily. Like, it's good, I should say. This is helpful, but maybe they farm us down? Oh, man. I don't know. I think I have to shield this. Okay, this is kind of what I wanted them to do, because now I can farm down the more Peko here. But Altaria is still going to be so hard to take down right now. I'm going to go for Bubble Beam. I need to try to survive a Sky Attack here. And maybe if I survive a Sky Attack, I can Bug Bite and Water Pulse through them? That's probably really cope, but maybe. I mean, my Bug Bites are adding up, but Sky Attack's going to do a lot here. I think even with that debuff, they probably knock us out. I think I've taken just too much damage on my Araquanid. Ah, man. Oh, I played that one as much as I think I could have. I don't know what we could have done to win that. It was close. We'll take the 4-1, though. Not too bad. That was a fun game, but we just barely didn't have enough play into them. 2800s, too. Okay, not a bad way to end the set. Shadow Steelix is such a fun pick here. Araquanid pairs very well with it too, taking down a lot of the Pokemon that generally a Steel type might not want to see. And Shadow Dusknoir as well, a very high impact Pokemon as long as you give it a lot of shields, or if you can give it a decent energy lead. This seems a lot of fun to use. If you want to give a Shadow Steelix team a go, give this one a try. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.